जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी यमुना तीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। जय श्री निताय गौरचंद्र भगवान की, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Canto 1, Chapter 11, Text 22. prahvābhivādanāśleṣa kara-sparśa-smitekṣaṇaiḥ āśvāsya cāśvapākebhyo varaiś cābhimatair vibhuḥ prahvābhivādanāśleṣa kara-sparśa-smitekṣaṇaiḥ āśvāsya cāśvapākebhyo varaiś abhimatair vibhuḥ prahvābhivādanāśleṣa kara-sparśa-smitekṣaṇaiḥ āśvāsya cāśvapākebhyo varaiś abhimatair vibhuḥ prahvābhivādanāśleṣa kara-sparśa-smitekṣaṇaiḥ āśvāsya cāśvapākebhyo varaiś cābhimatair vibhuḥ prahvābhivādanāśleṣa kara-sparśa-smitekṣaṇaiḥ āśvāsya cāśvapākebhyo varaiś cābhimatair vibhuḥ prahvābhivādanāśleṣa kara-sparśa-smitekṣaṇaiḥ āśvāsya cāśvapākebhyo varaiś cābhimatair vibhuḥ. Word to word translation. Word to translation. Prahvā, by bowing his head. Abhivadan, by greeting with words. Āśleṣa, embracing. Kara-sparśa, shaking hands. Smitekṣaṇaiḥ, by a glancing smile. āśvāsya, by encouragement. Cha, and. āśvapākebhyo, down to the lowest rank of dog-eaters. Varaiḥ, by benedictions. Cha, also. abhimatair, as desired by. Vibhuḥ, the Almighty. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. The Almighty Lord greeted everyone present by bowing his head, exchanging greetings, embracing, shaking hands, looking and smiling, giving assurances and awarding benedictions even to the lowest in rank. Purport. To receive the Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa, there were all grades of population, beginning from Vasudeva, Ugrasena and Gargamuni, the father, grandfather and teacher, down to the prostitutes and caṇḍālas, who are accustomed to eat dogs. And every one of them was properly greeted by the Lord in terms of rank and position. As pure living entities, all are the separated parts and parcels of the Lord, and thus no one is alien by his eternal relation. Such pure living entities are graded differently in terms of contamination of the modes of material nature. But the Lord is equally affectionate to all his parts and parcels despite material gradation. He descends only to recall these materialistic living beings back to his kingdom. An intelligent person takes advantage of this facility offered by the personality of Godhead to all living beings. No one is rejected by the Lord from the kingdom of God, and it remains with the living being to accept this or not. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagarajatan Sagana Raghunatam Nitam Tam Sachivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Nitam Cha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratuse Namah. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jagatpate गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं। हरे कृष्ण। Hare Krishna. So, welcome everyone for today's Bhagavatam discussion. So today is last verse in this four verse section. How Krishna was greeted by everyone and how Krishna reciprocated with others. So very simple wordings. Abhivadan, like in many times they say, no, we will do Abhivadan of guest came, greeting them with the words. āśleṣa, this word comes in Shishtastakam, that āśleṣa va padaratam. So embracing, Radharani says that either Krishna embrace me or put me under the feet. I don't mind. Kara-sparśa means shaking hands. It is not the shake hand what people do, not like that. They used to generally, we have seen, no, spiritual person like they take hands, keep in their hands, and they used to have this custom of shaking hands, whatever the way the it's explained. Some days before when Corona came, so people was telling Vedic custom was so nice. People used to say namaste, but people also used to greet by shaking hands also. smita-īkṣaṇaiḥ, by glancing. Just by glancing, other person used to have exchanges. āśvāsya, by encouragement. So one of the aspects of greeting somebody is also encouragement. And then he explained that how even for the lower people like āśvapākebhyo, Ashwa means the dog, and those who are Ashwa ko jo pakate hain, āśvapākebhyo. So for them also, and he was giving benediction. So one of the aspects of greeting is also giving benediction, abhimataiḥ, and those benediction was as per their desire, not that okay what I desire. So giving somebody benedictions or assuring something that I brought something for you, that is also one of the aspects of greeting. So in Purport, Prabhupada explains various things that how uh, there were different gradations of people who are greeting Krishna, and it is not like barricades that okay only this kind of people should meet. We see many times in the various programs, people say, oh, that festival, that program is for the very high class people. Or sometimes people say, oh, that is only for the low class people. But Krishna was greeted by all kinds of people. It was not that only higher levels of higher class of people was allowed or nothing like that. And even in when Prabhupada used to greet, so Prabhupada was having very equal vision. This is one of the quality in 26 qualities of the pure devotee. Satsarup Maharaj, he mentions one of the places that how, as usual, Prabhupada was greeted by devotees at airport, and it was very large, spontaneous turnouts of devotees coming and receiving Prabhupada. And he shares one incident in Philadelphia when Prabhupada had came at the airport itself. So Prabhupada was very satisfied seeing devotees came and they were greeting. And devotee was stepping forward with garlands. So there used to be two crowds. One is like devotees, they're coming with garlands, they're doing kirtan, and there were other set of cameramans and they were reporters, they used to come for taking interviews. So devotees are having their like cameras. They were also having cameras and garlands, some gift for Prabhupada. And reporter came with microphone and notepad like this. And suddenly one reporter asked, Swamiji, we heard that you are racist. You discriminate between male, female, and different varieties. You keep some like gradation in the society. And Prabhupada, they were saying that we don't know whether you want to comment on this or not. So Prabhupada said, we give equal roles spiritually. So spiritually we treat equally. Materially, one has to become a master and one has to become servant. There will be different gradations. There will be class of people who will want to do particular type of things. So there will be gradation materially. And that has to be there. One will be the father, one will be the son. But spiritually, they are all equal. We don't say, okay, you are a woman, you are a man, then we discriminate. No. We give initiation to both men and women. We don't say, okay, you are black, you are white, and that's why we will just accept particular class of people in the temple. No. So spiritual platform, we can see them equally. We have, Prabhupada is telling that I have disciples, men disciple, woman disciple, and both serve. So Prabhupada was telling him that how he treats equally, and spirituality is for everyone. Once Yamuna Mataji, she was going with Prabhupada. They actually welcomed Prabhupada and they were going in a car. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj was sitting behind. And Prabhupada was joking that how we should never trust on words of politicians and women. So then Yamuna Mataji is also supporting that, okay, yeah, Prabhupada is a word of the Shastras. Then Prabhupada clarified that, yes, if you think yourself woman, then we should not trust on women like that. So in spiritually, we treat everybody equally. Prabhupada, to the extent he gave so much empowerment to Mataji that many nowadays also we hear many temples in US, they are run by Matajis. So Krishna also reciprocated with different devotees on different levels. And Krishna sometimes by one gesture used to reciprocate with different varieties of people, and they used to understand it differently. Like in 43rd chapters, how when Krishna enters that wrestling arena, that time Krishna is entering, but everybody, because they have different mood, different exchanges with Krishna, they were receiving Krishna differently. So very nice sloka comes. Mallanam ashani nunam naravara srinam smaro murtinam gopanam sujato satam shitibujam shasta swapitro shisho mrityur bhojapate virat vidusham tatvam param yoginam Rushninam paradevate vidito rangam gata sagraja. When Krishna entered Rangam gata sagraja along with his agraja, elder brother Balram ji, when he entered, how people see it differently. Mallanam Ashni Runam. Those who are Mallanam, the big wrestlers, they saw him, okay, death is coming. Then Srinam Smaro Murtiman, for Naravaram, for them it was a Naravara, the best of the human beings, for the different ladies. Sajano Asatam Shitibhujam Shasta Swapitro Shushu. For the coward men, they see that, okay, Swapitro, his own Krishna, coward boy. Mrityur Bhojapatir, one for Bhojapati, Kaunsa, it was the Mrityu directly coming. So different personalities saw Krishna with different vision because they were exchanging different rasas with Krishna. And this is verse given for the explanation that how Krishna is Akhila Rasamruta Sindhu. How he is Rasamruta Murti. That how he has different rasas with different devotees. Recently we celebrated Narsimha Chaturdashi. So when Narsimha Dev was there sitting on the throne and he was tearing apart the Hiranyakashipu, his nails was as sharp that they can break that wooden, that hard stone like chest of Hiranyakashipu. We say na, Shilatankar Nakhalay. Shila, it was like a hard as a stone, the chest of Hiranyakashipu. But same nails, they were sought for Krishna, for Prahlad. Even some shlokas before, it is mentioned that how when Narsimhadev was glancing, it was so ferocious for Hiranyakashipu. But for Prahlad Maharaj, it was soothing. So, and Radhanath Maharaj said that only Krishna can do this. Krishna in his different forms can do. From one eye, he can show anger to the Daityas, and from one eye, he can show affectionate to devotees. Another pastime, when Krishna enters, Krishna goes to meet King Baulashva and Shrudev. That time he expands into two forms to exchange different rasas. So when he go to the king, that time king is giving very royal welcome to Krishna. But when Shrudev, when he came to Shrudev, that time he was given very simple, humble welcome. But Krishna was satisfied with both. In Rasa dance, when Krishna came, so that time Krishna exchanged same rasa but with different gopis. That time he expanded in many forms. So like that, Krishna is exchanging different rasas, and is expert in exchanging rasas. So then we may say, okay, what is the qualification for going there? So different places in Bhagavatam, when Krishna is having his Balya Lila, that time Sukadeva Goswami tells that how different gopas or gopis, they are not just ordinary human beings. In 12th chapter, when it is explained that how Krishna was going every day for herding the cows, so the qualification of those cowherd boys is mentioned. Ittam satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasam gatana paradevatena maya sritana naradarakena sakam vijarhu kruta punya punja. He's telling that those cowherd boys, they are not simple just souls, but they have done kruta punya punja. बहुत सारा पुण्य किया है उन्होंने, कृत पुण्य पुंजा. Normal people may see them as, okay, just ordinary living entities. Maya Shritanam, though have taken shelter of Maya, they may say that Naradarakena, simple people. But no, they have done a Krutapunna Punja, lot of pious activities. Of course, these are pious activities, not just normal pious activities. These are in terms of bhakti, he is telling. Even when Sukadeva Goswami tells that how these gopis, they are also not the ordinary living entities. They are, he explained their fortune, that as if they have done lot of tapa, because generally in the society people think that, okay, to do a spiritual activity we have to do lot of tapasarya, but it was not tapasarya. In Brahmaji's prayers, he explained that how, where is that Brahmaji's prayers, he says that these Gopavasis, these Vrajavasis, they are so fortunate. He says that ahohati dhanya vrajagoramanya stanyamrutam pitamati muda yasam vibho vatsataratmajatmana yatruptayedyapi na chamaladvara. He said that these cows and the gopis, they are so fortunate because they are getting opportunity to serve Krishna directly. So they are so dhanya. Many times in Marathi or Hindi also people say na, oh, so dhanya are they. वो बहुत धन्य लोग हैं ऐसे. He also glorifies Another Gopals. Aho bhagyam Nanda Gopa Vrajavkasam Yanmitra Paramanandam Purna Brahma Sanatanam. Purna Brahma is, they are getting to serve the absolute truth, who is the source of all transcendental bliss. Paramanandam, yan mitram Paramanandam. For them, friend is the absolute truth, who is the source of all pleasure. And also, when ladies of Mathuras, when they glorify gopis, they say that, oh, what kind of austerity these gopis perform, that Krishna is so dear to them. This is Gopyastapa kimacharan yadamusharupam lavanya saramasamordvananya siddham drugbi pibanti anusava binavam durapam ekanta dama yashasa Sri Aishwarasya. So they say that they have done, as if they have done lot of tapasarya. But it is not the fact that, okay, they have done tapasarya, because they got the blessings of Krishna, or they have bhakti which is making them have audience with Krishna. So it is the great fortunes of the different personalities like Gopas and Vrajavasis that they were there with Krishna. But that fortune is because of their bhakti. It is not just simple a tapasarya or the knowledge. And that fortune also can be achieved by us, because as Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, we living entities have that opportunity from Krishna, and it is not a biased thing that, okay, only these people, they can have this fortune. And it is given by the pure devotees to everyone. Once Mr. P.L. Shetty, who used to visit temple in Juhu, so he recalls that Prabhupada was so merciful, he was not discriminating. Okay, these people are from this sect, these people from that sect. He gave his mercy equally. Once one boy, he came to steal some papita from that land of Jew. He came, he took papita and he was about to go away. But devotee caught him. And they brought it in front of Prabhupada. And they are telling, Prabhupada, see, he was trying to steal papita. Then Prabhupada asked him, okay, if you take this papita, what you will do? He will say, I will eat it. And then he asked devotees, okay, if you take it, what you will do? Devotee said, we will also eat it. So you will eat and he will also eat. Then what is the difficulty? Then Prabhupada said, take this, no problem. And by just seeing that Prabhupada gesture, his parents started chanting Hare Krishna. Then Prabhupada said that, okay, if you want more, you can take more also. Give him some more papita, like that. So he was not discriminating between, okay, these people. Actually, that boy was Christian. So devotees were thinking, array, this fellow, he came from outside. Anyway, he's not going to become devotee. So why to give him something? But then when that person became devotee, then other devotees was thinking that, okay, Prabhupada has so equal vision. And Mr. P.L. Shetty was also thinking that Prabhupada always emphasizes that, okay, give prasadam to many people. And Prabhupada, that's why he used to hold a Sunday feast. And he was very happy seeing people taking prasadam. He used to arrange grand feast for that. And he never discriminated. For the scientists, he used to give arguments, scientific arguments. For the general, when children used to come, he used to give cookies. Once they arranged one lecture for Prabhupada in one school. Prabhupada was thinking that it's like they are arranged lecture, means I have to talk something. When Prabhupada went there, it was just small kids, they are coming. Then Prabhupada said, oh, what you have arranged, like that. Then Prabhupada just asked them simple question, okay, where is your hand? They showed like, okay, this is my hand. Then Prabhupada asked, okay, where is your head? They showed head. Then Prabhupada asked more question, where is your chest? Where is your legs? Like that. Then children was also thinking, array, what he is asking. And then Prabhupada asked, then where is you? You are showing this hand and legs like that. But where is you who is having this body? So Prabhupada sometimes used to connect to the children also. And when they are very small, then Prabhupada used to give them some prasadam and tell, okay, you go away. What philosophy will tell them? But Prabhupada's intention was always to give some mercy to them. He never discriminated. Once Prabhupada was there in, like they were dropping Prabhupada at the airport, and devotees were sitting, and then while going, there was a lot huge traffic, and car was not able to pass through. So the driver was putting horn, and they're trying to somehow go away. But it was getting difficult. So all devotees are thinking, okay, what has happened? Why this traffic? And then they come to know that there was some party or something going on. That's why the whole road is blocked. So devotees are like cursing them. Arey, what these nonsense people, materialistic, they don't understand why these roads are supposed to use for devotees. Why they are using like that? And they are giving a lot of galis to them. And Prabhupada was in one corner, sitting in front seat and very cool, calm. And after some time, they saw Prabhupada was not talking anything, means Prabhupada is not appreciating much. Then everybody remained cool, calm, though that the traffic was going on and honking is going on. Then after some time, Prabhupada said, actually, you all are also were like them in one point of time. Forgive them, they don't know what they are doing, like that. So Prabhupada is saying that, okay, because of their ignorance, they are doing this. It is not that, okay, it is their rebellions. Of course, in eternally, everybody is rebellious to Krishna, that's why they came here. But they are doing because they don't know. So Prabhupada is saying that, okay, even my disciples also were like that before. And now these people they don't know how to enjoy, that's why they are enjoying something in ignorance. So he saw that people are they're misdirected, and that's why he used to stress, okay, distribute my books or do preaching. Prabhupada traveled so much. And Prabhupada was having compassion on his devotees also. Once Prabhupada was traveling he was in England, and that time he was too sick. Still he wanted to travel in last stage of his life. So then devotees were asking, Prabhupada, you could have taken rest. Why you traveled? So Prabhupada told, I just traveling to give inspiration to my disciples. So for their sake, I am traveling. So he was having compassion to everyone, and he was giving as per their level. So he was not seeing their outer covering. Like sometimes somebody wears whole day he has wore socks, and he comes and everybody gets smell. He don't get smell, everybody else gets smell. So everybody is like cursing, why this fellow, you don't understand that now you should take out the socks and wash the hands, wash the legs and like that and come. But he doesn't feel bad. So similar thing happened when somebody with anarthas and his bad covering comes. So we have to see the coverings he is having, that is bad. Now his chitta is not purified. That's why he is acting wrongly. If you see that way, then we can forgive others actually. And then further part of purport, Prabhupada is telling that Krishna loves everybody equally. When 14th chapter of the 10th canto, when Brahmaji prays, after praying, after prayers are finished, Parikshit Maharaj gets a doubt that you explain that all throughout the year when Balramji, after the year when Balramji saw that, oh, these all these calves are loving more to the cows than general behavior, their general behavior. Then he explained that their love to their cows, their mothers is more. Going to the background, what has happened that on the day of Balram Jayanti, on the Balram's appearance day, when Balramji was at home, that time Krishna went along with the Gopas to herd the calves, and that time this calves was stolen by Brahmaji. And because that time Balramji was not there, Balramji was unaware of the things. But Krishna, by his potency, he expanded into many Narayanas, and those Narayanas becomes Gopas and also calves. So because this was the last Leela of Krishna's Balya Leela, till the time So Krishna was just herding calves. So those calves which were now Krishna, now acting as the calves, and the boys, those were showing more love to their mothers. So they every day they used to go home, they used to have exchanges, and that particular pastime, it is being said that it was orchestrated because all gopis in Vrindavan, or cows, they wanted to have Krishna as their son, or cows wanted to have Krishna as their calf. They were loving so much, and their love was more than their love for their own sons. So it was going on for a year, and when at the end of the year, when Balramji, almost year, because if it would have been a year, then Balramji would not be with Krishna. But it was not complete year, it might be just before. That time Balramji saw, oh, these calves are having so much love for the cows. They are running so fast toward the cows. And even the gopas, they were showing so much love to the parents, or coward men, they are showing so much love to the coward boys. How is it that? Then he understood that, oh, these all are the expansions of Narayana, and then they are now acting because Brahmaji has stolen the calves. So calves and coward boys. So when that happens, he explained that how Balramji understood that because they are more love, that's why it is Krishna. That much was clear. And then Sukadeva Goswami explained how Brahmaji's prayers are over. After that, Parikshit Maharaj asked question that how it is that they had more love to Krishna than their own sons. Because generally we see, in Marathi they said, even the child is shemda. Even if you don't know much. Still, every woman have more affection to their own son. Even if he is 10th fail, whatever he may be, they have more affection to their own son than neighboring son. Neighbor's son might be PhD and very highly qualified, but they will have more affection to their own son. But how it is that the coward ladies, they had more affection to Krishna? He says in 49 shlokas of the 14th chapter, Sri Raja Uvacha Brahman Parodbhave Krishna Yan Prema Katham Bhavet Yo Bhuta Purvastokeshu Svod Bhaveshwapi Katyatam. Parod Udbhave Krishna, Brahman, Brahmana, Parikshit Maharaj is asking to Sukadeva Goswami, Para Udbhave, how they were having more affection to others' child. Ihan Prema Katham Bhavet, how they had so much affection. Yo Bhuta Purva Stokeshu, Abhuta Purva, what I am hearing, that is little Abhuta Purva. Because others' child means Stokeshu, they have so much affection. So in that explanation, Sukadeva Goswami says that actually every living entity have highest affection to Krishna. How? We may say, oh, people have so much affection to the family members and relatives that they are able to forsake their own happiness. People are not caring for their own bodies for the sake of their family members. Generally, it is seen like that. Then how you can say that generally the most affection a person have is to their to Krishna? So in explanation, Sukadeva Goswami also tells, and Prabhupada also explained that how person have more affection to the family members because they are connected to their bodies. He is having affection to his body, and they are related to body. That's why he want to do anything for their family members, because he will take a loan for his family members. He will not take for the other family members. Right? So his affection to family members is because they are related through his body. Why he has more affection to his body? Because body in which the soul is there. He thinks himself as the body, that's why he is having affection to this body. and bodily parts. Sometimes, for the sake of body or for the sake of earning, the four example is given like that. One is about merchant. He goes anywhere, taking risk of his body, or there are several examples are given. Only our thief, he will not take care of his body. He know that if he being caught, he may get some punishment or something like that. So he don't care about his own thing for the sake of fulfilling demands of body. So why it is like that? Because he's connected through soul. Then why he have affection to his soul? Because soul is part and parcel of Krishna. Like that explanation Sukadeva Goswami gives, that actually everybody have the highest affection to Krishna. And Krishna, from whom the Kshirodaksha Vishnu comes, and from Kshirodaksha Vishnu, like not him comes, but our soul is a part and parcel of Krishna, and soul is in the body, and body have his connection to the other family members. That is why he is ready to forsake his body or his comfort for the sake of family members. But actually, in essence, everybody has deepest affection for Krishna. So everybody have utmost affection for Krishna, and Krishna has utmost affection for each and every soul. So, like that he explained that how everybody loves Krishna. And how Krishna loves everybody, that is mentioned in various places. And there are some pastimes also. When Amrish Maharaj was being attacked by the demon sent by Durvasa Muni, that time he explained, when the Durvasa Muni goes for shelter to Lord, then Lord says that for me, I cannot do anything for this demon. You have to go to my devotee Amrish Maharaj, because he is more dear to me. So he is more affectionate. There is one very nice story. There was one alwar in Ranganath temple. Generally, many of the alwar, they will write something. They will have some writings, they will have some books. But this particular alwar, he was not having any song written, or he was not having any work, scriptural work done. So one day, there was one procession. As you know, there are many procession in Ranganath temple. There are many festival. In a year, more than some 200 festivals. So this alwar used to just go in front of the deities and pray. He used to cry in front of the Lord. So other used to feel, he just comes and do something like that. So one day he was just standing in front, and then Lord's procession was coming. And one of the manager, he was thinking, why is coming in between? Everybody was shouting, move aside, move aside. But he was not going. So then this manager took one nariyal. It was nariyal, but he gave real shot. He gave real shot to him, and it was bleeding. And then he kind of he fainted down, and they all moved with the procession. So procession moved, and everything happened. And then they were doing. They took Lord inside. And then they saw that actually Lord is also having some bleeding. When Lord was taken in procession, and then it was kept in the throne, that time they saw the Lord is also having bleeding. And then head pujari, he was tense. 3 days he was just not taking anything, just chanting. And he was so worried. He was praying to the Lord, oh Lord, what happened? He was praying to the Lord Ranganath. And then Lord came to his dream, and he said, I am not at all happy that what you have done to my devotees. And because it was bleeding, they were not opening the altar. And then Lord said, this pujari was asking, my Lord, what I should do as a prayachitta? Then he said that the same palanquin on which you have taken me, you have to take my devotee on that same palanquin, take the way I was being taken, then I will be allowed you to, then my bleeding will stop, and you can open the altar. And actually they took that devotee, that alwar, on the palanquin around the temple. And then Lord was cool, calm, like that. There is one more, there are various pastimes actually. In Kumbhakonam also, there is one Vishnu temple. And they were not allowing one very simple, one devotee to enter the temple. Maybe because of from the lower caste or something like that. And when Pujari went inside the altar after refusing that person, then he saw that actually Lord's duty was not at center. It was rotating like this. Inside the Garbhagriha, it was rotating like this. And his head was, his face was outside. It was rotating like this, like outer side. So everybody was worried, why it is happening? Because the devotee whom they didn't allow, he was going long distance, and from there he was doing pradakshina. And just facing to that devotee, Lord was like rotating like this. We know the very wonderful pastimes of Udupi Krishna, how he changed his direction. And there is a Navagraha Khindi, na? Kanakana Khindi, that just to show the face towards his dear devotee Kanaka. He was not being allowed on one side, so he went from back side and he was trying to take darshan from the one window, and Lord turned 180 degrees shift, and they have to change the entire door itself. They change the darshan in other way rounds. So Krishna loves his devotee most, and devotee loves Krishna most. We may not understand, but that is the fact. Then, and that love of Krishna, we may not have that impetus of Krishna's love to drive in bhakti. That day one devotee was asking me, pain drive. So I was thinking, actually pain is only drive. In the material world, if you don't have love of Krishna as driving things for us. Because whatever pain we see in this material world, so much pain, that only drives us to do bhakti. So we can't understand Krishna's love right now. But to experience Krishna's love, we have to go through scriptures and life of the Acharyas, that how they have so much love. And giving that love, Acharyas comes and Krishna comes, to the fact that the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, one of the internal reason of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's coming is giving that Krishna Prem, the highest Krishna Prem, which is so rare in a life of Brahma. Once Krishna comes, in a day of Brahma, Krishna comes once, and in that also, the same Chaturyuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, and he comes to give this love of Godhead. In other Kali Yuga also, Gaur Narayan comes and he will give bhakti as a Yuga Dharma. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu especially comes once in a day of Brahma to give this Krishna Prem. In Madhya Lila, very nice shloka comes that Chirat adattam nijagupta vittam swaprema nama mruta atyudaram apamaram yo vitatar gaura Krishna janebhyo tam aham prapadde. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes to give this Krishna Prem, swaprema nama mrutam, which is in the term of his holy name, apamaram yo vitatara gaura. He is giving to everyone, apamaram. So that Krishna, I offer my obeisances. Or even in the beginning of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says that Anarpita charim chirat karunaya vatirna kalo samarpaiti munnato jvalarasam swabhakti sriyam Hari spurata sundara dyuti kadamba sandipita Sadarudaya kandare spuratu vasachi nandana. So this anarpita chiram chirat, the love of Godhead which is not given from anarpita, is not given from many yugas, that to give that Krishna Prem, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes. And Prabhupada in his, as his Senapati Bhakta, he comes and distribute this love of Godhead, starting with by giving this holy name throughout the world. So we may not understand what this Krishna Prem, and it may not be the main thing that how Krishna is loving us so much, but at least by seeing Acharyas and by reading the scriptures, we can experience that love. That just like a child, when he's small, he can't understand how much parents love us until he understand, okay, they are caring for me, they are taking care. when he's small, he just cries. And you know that if I cry for some time, I will get something. But after, when he grows, then he understand, okay, they care for me. And sometimes still, some children, they are ungrateful, and then they think, oh, what my parents have done for me. Because for them, it is minimum basic. But when other people tells that, okay, this much your parents have done for you, this much they have gone through so much difficulty like this for you, then you understand, okay. Similarly, for us also, when we understand how Krishna is doing so much for us, when we read the Virat Rupa section in the second and third canto, we understand that everything is Krishna. Just because we get desire to enjoy this material world, enjoy separately, Krishna creates our senses, Krishna creates the sense devatas, Krishna creates the sense objects, and he only arranged through the three modes that we get attracted, and then we will experience. So everything, our experience is Krishna, our object is Krishna, through which we are enjoying, that is Krishna. How Krishna is, not in terms of Mayavad, but in terms of facilities is arranged by Krishna so that we experience that sense gratification. So Krishna's love is so much that even for arranging our sense gratification, he does a lot of things by creating this material world. So we have to understand by reading the scriptures and through the life of devotees that, oh, devotees done so much. Sometimes we may not get more taste in reading Bhagavatam, sleep may come. But by hearing the pastimes of acharyas like Prabhupada, we have some more taste in hearing it. So by knowing the life of the acharyas, and by that way we can understand that Krishna has done so much for us. And that way we can understand his love. So that can be our one of the drive also, along with pains. So thank you very much for patient hearing, and please pray for me that I can also understand how much acharyas loves us, and they have done so much for me. Actually, our strength is, I will just take 1 minute to tell one very short story, that actually acharyas have given us so much, and their strength, their compassion is our strength. One of the devotee had shared this story that once one very thin person, he was going as his general routine to stand in a line to get some milk. So he went and he stand at one place, and somehow because he got some nature's call, he has to go. So he told the person behind him that I will come in 5 minutes, reserve my seat. And he went. But when he came back, that time he saw on his place there was some hefty personality was standing. And as soon as this Kadi Pailwan, he came, so then he saw, oh, this fellow is standing on my place. And immediately he started arguing. Hey, mister, move aside, this is my place. And this hefty fellow, he just took his collar, lifted him little up and moved it aside. I am standing here from last 10 minutes. How you coming in between and asking? And this fellow said, if you don't want beatings, just move aside. And everybody nearby, they were laughing, what this fellow is telling. And he again warned this Pailwan kind of person that, give my place, otherwise it will not good for you. Then he said, just go home. And he went and he came back after 10 minutes. And he moved little bit ahead, this Pailwan. And then this fellow, he came. I again warning you, move aside, otherwise day will not be good for you. Then he was thinking, why this small fellow, he was giving so much power. Then he saw behind, there was even bigger Pailwan than him. These 4 or 5 people, they were having lot of strength. And then this fellow moved aside. So similarly, we also, we tells, okay, Krishna's love is there, and we say so many big things. We say about love of Krishna and Acharya's love and crossing this material world. But actually, we don't have strength like this Kadi Pelwan. We have strength of our Acharyas who are behind us. They are giving. Sometimes we may say, okay, this fellow, you're so sincere. how he got some problem in bhakti. I am also, I'm too tiny in front of him. But actually, it is not our shelter. It is actually Acharya's shelter we are offering them. We are offering the shelter of Guru Parampara to others when we are boldly telling others that you also chant Hare Krishna and you will get love of Godhead. So it is actually Acharya's shelter. So Maharaj was telling in recent class that when we understand it is not ours, then we can offer shelter to others. When we understand that shelter is not mine, then we can offer shelter to others. So I pray that I also understand things and do something for the mission of Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.